Hello all, welcome back once again to another interesting story under the Azadi Kamrit Mahotsav story series by Momish Musings. Today I'm going to introduce you to this brave and noble lady who has inspired a generation of women across India. I'm not going too far into the history books. I'm just moving back by a century, and I'm going to introduce you to Captain Lakshmi Sahgal from 19th century, who is the first known woman face of Indian National Army or Azad Hind Force, initiated by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji. In fact, during her tenure as captain of INA, she has changed the livelihood of so many people, women across the country, and she has changed the destiny of the INA at certain point of time. uh, Let us go back to her childhood days. She was born to the well-known social activist and revolutionary thinker Swaminathan couple. Her father Swaminathan is a famous lawyer in Madras at that point of time, or what we call as Chennai, and her mother Ammukutti is a famous freedom fighter who participated in Dandi March, Quit India movement, and all the other movements of Indian national struggle. And she is also very actively working against caste discrimination, women empowerment, and stuff like that. And uh, uh, I think her traits have come down to our Lakshmi Swaminathan as well, our tiny little girl Lakshmi Swaminathan. Because whenever she goes to Kerala for her holidays, she should get all the tribal girls, all the low caste people into her house, give them the basics of education, teach them what is good, what is bad, and she should play with them. She should eat with them, which used to infuriate her grandmother. And she used to always say that don't come back to here for your next vacation because you're spoiling the serenity of my house, wherein all these people's shadows used to never fall in my house, or they're coming and and they're eating here along with you, which is totally intolerable, and I need to cleanse my house and stuff like that. But again, every summer she should call our small girl Lakshmi Swaminathan back home to Kerala, and Lakshmi also used to go to Kerala, and that is the love of a between a grandmother and a granddaughter, right? Lakshmi Swaminathan has completed her studies in Queen Mary's College in Chennai, which is still standing tall to talk about the various and stories of the various great leaders who have studied there. Along with that, she completed her medicine from the Madras Medical College. She started practicing medicine in Chennai, and she got married at a very tender age, as child marriages were pretty common in those days, isn't it? But unfortunately, her first marriage was a failure because both of them couldn't get along, and with the support of her parents, she walked away from that marriage. And that was a time when almost the World War II has started, and most of the people who are doctors by profession were forced to join the British Army, rather British Indian Army, to fight or to help in the World War II. But Lakshmi Swaminathan was not very keen in joining British Army because she felt that Britishers are the oppressors of Indians by that time itself. So she moved to Singapore, stating that she needs to study more. Excuse me. And she started doing her medical practice as well as her higher studies. And that is where she met Raj Bihari Bose, who is the first person who has started the Indian National League and started accumulating all the Indians under one huge umbrella so that he can prepare them for the fight against Britishers from Singapore. Here, Lakshmi Swaminathan started helping all the poor Indians and Malaysians and Chinese people with her treatments, and she started becoming little famous, and that's how her, thoughts, her ideology started spreading everywhere, which attracted Raj Bihari Bose as well. So both of them met together and were discussing as to how they can help the fellow Indians and how they can remove the injustice that is being prevalent even there in Singapore at that point of time. And then comes Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji, who has come into Singapore to meet Raj Bihari Bose and take the reins of Indian Independence League. And he's the person who's converted into Indian National Army. And he said that we need to set up a provisional Azad Hind government here from Singapore and start operating, saying that we can also rule Indian government India, and we can show it to the world. And that is when, on the recommendation of Raj Bihari Bose, Lakshmi Sahgal has gone and met Subhash Chandra Bose ji for a small interview of half an hour. That half an hour got converted into 5 hours because Subhash Chandra Bose ji was totally attracted towards Lakshmi Swaminathan's ideologies about social injustice, about caste discrimination, about women empowerment, and all the things. She was always very vocal about her thoughts, and her ideas have impressed Subhash Chandra Bose ji, that he said that my dream of having the Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai's regiment of women army under INA could be fulfilled only by you. Will you be able to manage that? At that point of time, it was just a wild dream on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's mind, but he doesn't have any women followers or any women warriors who can work on the women Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai's regiment or the women wing of INA. And Lakshmi Swaminathan has taken up that responsibility, and she started recruiting all the women from Singapore and Malaysia, going by door to door, talking about the benefits of joining in Indian Army and Indian National Army, rather, why women should join. The Remember, folks, here she's talking to the common women, housewives, most of them who are not even educated, who haven't stepped out of their strict, traditional households so far. They haven't even spoken to male members of the family in a raised voice. These are the people who are willing to come out based on her speeches, based on Lakshmi Swaminathan's words. And these people Lakshmi Swaminathan could accumulate almost 1,500 people within a short span of 2 months. Isn't it amazing? All these people, and she showed it to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji, and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji was very happy to start the Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai Regiment, which is the women wing of INA. And then their training has started. Imagine the situation here. All these people are coming from traditional households where people are trained to wear saris, and these people were wearing Western dresses, that is, the shirt and the pant. They were trekking almost 50 miles a day, climbing on top of the hills, walking in the jungles. When once they step out in the morning for the training, they don't know at what time they'll be coming back in the night to the house, and they need to answer to all their family members as to why they're coming late, so late. And on top of it, they need to hold the guns, which are, really heavy for them. They tender arms at that point of time, right? Despite all these things, they were bearing all that trouble, and it's a real stress for the strength, endurance, and mind power. They proved themselves that they are capable of this. In fact, even after the INA was dismantled, even after the Subhash Chandra Bose's death, when all the other people were testifying about the INA, nobody could testify about even a single case where the woman had surrendered. She gave what is due from her as a member of INA battalion till her last breath. Is this not just sufficient to show the dedication and the courage which these simple women from the traditional households of Indian households from Singapore, Malaysia, Burma have showcased? In fact, they had created their own cry saying, "Hum Bharat ki beti hai, abhi uta hua hai talwar," which means we are the daughters of India, and we are touching the sword for the first time, and we don't want to fight, but we are forced to fight to save our integrity, save our nation. And tomorrow you will turn back the pages of your Indian history, and you can see our sacrifices, our courage, our display of courage and our strength. I don't think I have come across such a beautiful war cry anywhere till now. Of course, my knowledge is limited, you can say, but still, the moment I'm reading this war cry, all the hairs on my hand are standing up tall and I'm feeling really proud about this women battalion, and I'm feeling like I'm doing something I mean, just by hearing that story, if I'm getting so inspired, imagine what must be the inspiration which Lakshmi Swaminathan has inculcated in those women at that point of time. And in fact, she was the first person to become captain under Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's guidance. And from that time onwards, Lakshmi Swaminathan's name has changed to like Captain Lakshmi. And she started creating her own unique identity, not from the father's side, nor from the husband's side. And she's the first minister, chosen first woman cabinet minister in the provisional government of the Azad Hind, and she was handling her duties so well that she was posted to Burma during the Second World War time. I mean, to fight along with the Japanese army, along with Japanese, with the Britishers. And when she got posted in Burma, she had handed over all her responsibilities as the commander to Janaki Deva, who is just 18-year-old girl from the Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai's regiment. I mean, this lady herself is not so old at that point of time, right? Lakshmi, Captain Lakshmi. Look at her in sweet smile on her face. That itself shows how. I mean, though she's looking very sweet, innocent on the outside, she's a really tough lady, and that's the reason why she's chosen Janaki Deva as her next heir of RJR or the Rani Jhansi Lakshmi Bai's regiment. And Janaki Deva herself said, like, the discipline which Captain Lakshmi maintained throughout her tenure as the RJR commander is just incredible. Anybody, it could snap even the most of the toughest people. But mind you, here, none of the women snapped out of the discipline. They were very much willingly going ahead with her disciplinary measures. They were following her to the core. And Captain Lakshmi was arrested in Burma and was put into Red Fort jail by Britishers. And that is the time when INA has retreated back because Japanese were getting defeated in the hands of Britishers. And then when Captain Lakshmi was put in Red Fort jail along with her other commanders in the Red Fort jail, Jawaharlal Nehru donned back his lawyer suits and went and fought her case along with other commanders from INA case with the Britishers, and he won the case because of which all the people were released from the jail. And that is the time when after Captain Lakshmi married to her husband uh, Prem Kumar Sahgal, of post-independence, and she settled in Kanpur. And Captain Lakshmi has got blessed with two daughters from Prem Kumar Sahgal, and both of them started working on their passions. That is nothing but social justice and women empowerment for Lakshmi Sahgal once again. And she has set up her clinic back in Kanpur, and she started helping all the poor patients who are unable to pay the I mean, so much money for the medicines or for the treatment. And in fact, her quest for equal society and women empowerment has continued till her last breath. That she has participated in so many major events that have happened post India got its independence, like be it the Bhopal class tragedy, or be it the fight, Burma liberation fight with Pakistan, or be it be sorry, Bangladesh liberation fight with Pakistan, or be the artistic riots that happened during the after post India Indira Gandhi's assassination. Wherever she is going, she was only talking about the social justice for everybody, equal rights, and women empowerment. And the same is the case with Janaki Deva, who got married to a Malaysian citizen post independence because she was stationed all along in the Singapore, right? And she moved to Malaysia, and her work on the women empowerment and other activities have given her, have made Malaysian government to nominate her to the one of the upper assemblies of Malaysian parliament. And even Lakshmi Sahgal has worked in Rajya Sabha as an honorary member, and both of them are continuing working on their dreams and passions and Lakshmi Sahgal has passed away recently in 2012. And even then, during her death time, also she's done the noble cause by giving her body for the further research and organ. And she told that her organs can be donated to other people who are in need of organs to the Kanpur Medical University. I mean, this do you all agree that this is one story which every woman or every girl should read so that she can know what a true woman empowerment means? It is not about going and shouting naras and slogans, or not about wearing new modern dresses is called women empowerment or feminism, isn't it, my dear friends? There are people who have taught a totally new different meaning for us about the feminism, women empowerment, how women should be given equal rights across the from Indian history. And Lakshmi Sehgal is one such person whom we should always remember. Her death anniversary falls in this July month itself, and that's the reason why I had chosen her name this time for today's story. I hope you all liked it. Let us meet tomorrow with another interesting story. Till then, bye bye.